Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hope that you are well, hope that you are at ease. Today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about neuroplasticity, changing patterns of thinking, changing patterns of the mind, and ultimately what can happen over time with a mindfulness, with a meditation practice, is we can actually change the structures of the human brain. The idea is not to just stop thinking. This is a common misconception in meditation. We're not just here to sit down and shut out the world, but this is a gradual process. And one of the things we can do in meditation is to begin to cultivate skillful qualities of mind, qualities of appreciation, of generosity, of love and care for others, which can reduce the attachment to patterns of rumination, the same thoughts which occur maybe day after day after day. And these are the things that lead to depression and anxiety. So what are unskillful qualities of the mind? The number one sign, which I just mentioned, is that they are stuck. It's almost like a loop which plays over and over and over again. I can think of for myself patterns of mind which have remained the same while everything else in my life has changed. I mean, like patterns of addiction are like this, or patterns of resentment towards someone, right? Self-loathing, they remain the same, even though regardless of the changing reality around us, the mind stays entrenched in these patterns. And how we can begin to break out of that is through appreciation, through gratitude, noticing what is good, noticing that, there's air that I can breathe right now, noticing what we do have that we can be grateful for, bringing up genuine care and compassion for ourselves, for others in our lives. Because what this does is it begins to poke holes in some of these negative stories which the mind holds, which the mind wants to grasp onto for whatever reason. And as we do this over time, it can begin to change the structures of the brain. I wanted to read a little bit from this book. This is called The Buddha's Brain by Rick Hanson. Just a couple bullet points. He says mental activity shapes neural structure in a variety of ways. Neurons that are particularly active become even more responsive to input. Busy neural networks receive increased blood flow, which supplies them with more glucose and oxygen. So the idea is that neurons that fire together, wire together. Whatever it is that we're cultivating in our mind, it's not just, it doesn't just matter in that moment. When done repeatedly over time, we can actually change the wiring in the human brain. And I was particularly interested into, he says, brand new neurons grow in the hippocampus. This neurogenesis increases the openness of memory networks to new learning. Because of all the ways your brain changes its structure, your experience matters beyond its momentary subjective impact. It makes enduring changes in the physical tissues of your brain, which affect your well-being, functioning, and relationships. Based on science, this is a fundamental reason for being kind to yourself, cultivating wholesome experiences, and taking them in. I had just spent some time on a meditation retreat and was dealing with my own particular flavors of suffering, repetitive patterns of thought about a relationship in my life. And this was a longer retreat, 6 weeks. And so one of the teachers, the teachers in general were saying, don't use your time while you're here to just stew in these same patterns of thought over and over again while you're here. And one of the teachers in particularly was suggesting whenever this person comes up that you're kind of having a difficult time with, one thing that you can do is you're not going to push the thoughts away, but you just wish them ease. May you be well, may you be at peace, and the same for yourself. May I be well, may I be at peace with this, because I'm suffering about it. So that kind of became my practice. Every time I would feel these kind of repetitive patterns come up, this is what I would do. Just may you be at ease, wish you well, and the same for myself. And it was interesting what I found happened over time, over these weeks, is one, I was not thinking about it as much. My mind became less, almost dispassionate towards just the whole entangled, situation with them. And what I found started to happen is in that open space, I began to have a different perspective on what it was happening with them. Because I wasn't so entangled with the thoughts, suddenly I would have a feeling of like, oh, so much of this I am creating in my own mind. It's not that there's not difficulty there, but the repetitive thinking is blowing it out of proportion in a way that is, in early Buddhist language, we call it delusion. I'm having delusion about it. It's blown way out of perspective. And in that openness, I was able to see perhaps I can change. Perhaps I can change my relationship to this situation. And I began to have a little bit of clarity and what we call insight into the nature of my own suffering. So this is what skillful thinking can do over time. Like I said, using patterns of gratitude, of love, of appreciation, they can begin to just soften up these kind of hardened patterns of mind, of me, mine, I'm right, and begin to open up into a different view, which can ultimately lead towards release, the release from grasping. So we'll do a meditation now, and with the intention of leading the mind towards more malleability, towards neuroplasticity. So wherever you're sitting right now, just finding your own open posture in a way that feels dignified for you. And if it feels comfortable, you can close your eyes, or you can just rest your gaze in front of you. Taking a few longer, slower, deeper breaths if that feels comfortable for you. And setting the intention that just for this next 12, 13 minutes while we're sitting here, to let the thinking mind to be in the background of your experience. And your direct experience of the body and breath to be in the foreground of your experience. Allowing each breath to open and soften any hardening or tension in the physical body. This could become subconscious over time, so we'll do a body scan to just comb through 4 areas, just starting with the neck and the head. Just noticing, is there any tension in the forehead, the way we're holding the head up, in the brain, in the thinking mind, opening and softening. And doing the same for the arms and the hands. Just allowing them to relax, allowing the hands to rest wherever they are, and allowing the shoulders to just fall back naturally. And shifting our attention to the torso. Is there any tension in the chest, in the belly? Noticing the stability in the back. And what can soften, especially in the front of the body. Continually using the in and the out breath to maintain stability for the mind, while also softening. And settling down into the legs, the base of the body, and just recognizing the solidity there, a feeling of rootedness. And is it possible to relax, to soften the muscles of the thighs, the calves, and the feet? And now just taking in kind of a wide sense of the whole body. Almost as if the entire body can receive each breath. Noticing the air which comes in through the nostrils, through the lungs, and then is released back into the atmosphere around us. And just having a sense of appreciation. Just for breathing. Right now, can this be enough? We just continually allow the thoughts of the mind to just fall like raindrops outside, or the wind passing us by. And really tuning into this body, having a sense of appreciation for just how rare it is to be alive in this moment. A heart which is beating, oxygen and blood moving through the body. Having appreciation to just have the time to sit and be still for a moment. And are there any other things that you can have appreciation towards in this moment? Anything which is wholesome and true for you in your life right now? And bringing to mind someone who is genuinely, truly dear to you. This could be an animal, this could be a family member or a friend. And just offering them just the same love and appreciation. May you be well. May you be at ease. And may you be at peace. In the midst of all that may be difficult in this life, we can always return to this quality of heart. May you be well. May you be at ease. May you be at peace. Almost silently offering these phrases from the heart or from the center of the chest. And now turning the same quality of love towards our own mind and body. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be at peace. May I be well. May I be at ease. And may I be at peace. Not pushing away what's difficult, but simply meeting it with skillful qualities of the mind. We have this incredible capacity to think, to be aware, and to cultivate love, compassion, and appreciation. May I be well. May I be at ease. May I be at peace. And for this last minute or so, allowing the phrases to go, just noticing the quality of your mind right now. No need for judgment, just appreciating what may be good or wholesome in this meditation. Noticing any space in the mind which may be there, any tenderness in the heart. And wishing that all beings may experience some ease, peace, and freedom in their lives. So thank you so much for taking this short time to practice and to cultivate what is skillful in the mind. And this is something which can be taken out of a seated practice and into the day. I know had a job where I was driving a lot for a while, and I used it as an opportunity to just wish people well all the time, and it was amazing what it did to my own nervous system. You know, people cutting you off, speeding around. May you be at ease. May you be at peace. It almost sounds kind of cheesy or maybe even corny, but I realized this is for my own well-being. You know, I feel better at the end of the day when I'm not just like angry at everyone around me when I'm driving through traffic. So maybe thinking of one area in your life where you can bring in either, appreciation or gratitude or goodwill or kindness, and to use this in your life and seeing how it can work and reduce some of your own rumination and mental patterns and attachments to those thoughts, and what can open up in that space. This is the beautiful thing about meditation, beginning to change the mind, open up, breaking out of old patterns, and in that space, new ways of thinking can unfold. So I hope this has been beneficial and that you are well. Thank you. We'll see you soon.